Right now, Trump's picked to lead the Health and Human Services Department, that's RFK Jr. He's sitting for his first confirmation hearing. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott joins me. Mr. Senator, in his opening statement, RFK stressed that he is not anti-vaccine. He says all of his kids are vaccinated and that he believes vaccines play a critical role in healthcare. Is he still vulnerable on the vaccine issue?
Well, you know, one of the things we have to recognize here, Stuart, is that President Trump deserves the cabinet he wants. What RFK has done already, when I met with him, we talked about vaccines, but we spent more time talking about his position from a pro-life perspective. What I love about where he is he surrounded himself with deputies that are pro-life. And so what we should expect out of this nominee is for him to be a change agent. That is the goal of President Trump, and it's the goal that I support.
He would certainly be a change agent if he questions vaccines and he tries to move us away from ultra or highly processed foods. He's going to try to do all of that, isn't he?
Well, I think he's going to be he absolutely will be a bull in a china shop in some areas of HHS. We need change. We need significant change and progress. Listen, America deserves someone who understands and appreciates the necessity of being as fit as humanly possible. I like that about RFK. I like the fact that he has surrounded himself with people who have differing opinions than he does on a number of topics. President Trump is brilliant. He understood that the one thing that America voted for was change. He has it across the board in his cabinet. He is assembling one of the most provocative cabinets in American history. That will serve the American people really well.
I like that expression, like a bull in a china shop. I've not heard that one for a long time, but I think it's very apt at this point, that's for sure. Mr. Senator, today President Trump's going to sign an executive order ending federal funds to schools that teach critical race theory or radical gender ideology. Are you comfortable with both those orders?
Absolutely. What we don't need in our school system is indoctrination. What we do need in our school systems, education. What President Trump has promised to the American people is more choice for parents and a better chance for success for the kids. We don't need to be teaching a critical race theory. We need to be teaching academics. We need to talk about math, science, reading. We need to get to STEM and STEAM, including accounting and arts. If we focus on making America the most successful, progressive country, we will be the most powerful force for good. And when I say progressive, I mean academic ascension in the right direction. Right now, under President Biden, it's pathetic. He spends more time on the adults in education than he did on the kids. President Trump will turn that dial, and we'll see more time on kids than we do on the adults in the system.
Trump is also signing an executive order expanding school choice. He cites, low reading scores and math scores. They're coming down. They've not recovered after the pandemic.
Yes.
Why would school choice improve reading and math for our youngsters?
What we've seen over the last several years, I found that the school choice caucus about 10 years ago, Stuart, and one of the things that we've seen is that charter schools are part of the public apparatus. It gives more flexibility, more options. When you think about the school choice agenda, I don't care whether it's a public school, private school, a charter school, a religious school. What we want is for parents to have a better chance, a chance to choose the direction of their kids' education. What we understand is that the highest performing high schools are consistently, top high schools are consistently charter schools. Overall, you want and I want every child and every zip code to have a quality education. Today, while they're spending $700 billion plus, our kids are less competitive globally than we've been in decades.
What can President Trump do very soon, right now, to improve and then expand school choice across the country? Because it's a state issue, not necessarily a federal issue.
It is. Yeah, I strongly support federalism. The bottom line is one of the bills that we are talking about later on today is the importance of providing a tax credit for those folks who want to invest in school choice on the local level. We're not going to nationalize the issue of education. Frankly, I want the 50 laboratories of democracy going back to work and creating competition. Let's put our kids in the best place for success. It puts America in the best place for success.
Now, Mr. Senator, please don't be a stranger. You got to spend some more time with us in the future, please. Will you do that for us?
I'll be back tomorrow, buddy. I'm willing to come back tomorrow and Friday as well. Let's do it.
If you're not careful. Senator Tim Scott, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Always appreciated. Thanks a lot. All right.
Thank you, Stuart. God bless.
God bless.